Welcome to the first of our PSAM Presents webcasts, where we interview leading figures from the sports venue industry and ask them to share their latest project news and innovations. Today, I'm talking to George Mullan, CEO of SIS Pitches. So George, let's go straight into the questions. So George, I guess the first question is, what should architects and designers consider when choosing a pitch partner for a project?
I think, first of all, they should fully understand that the pitch is absolutely fundamental to the success of the stadium. And they, and we as a pitch contractor, need to engage an awful lot earlier in the process, because we can bring a lot of expertise into how grass grows in stadiums. But very simply, and this is anecdotal, generally, when you go into a stadium, a new stadium, you're going to look around for maybe 10 minutes, admire everything, it's beautiful. But you're going to look at the pitch for 90 minutes. And I use that as a simple statistic to try and show how important the pitch is to the stadium's success. And what we really would like, and we work with architects a lot, is to get involved in the process early on, because then we can bring our knowledge on shade, on air movement, and if we can make very simple adaptations to the roof fabric, for example, we can improve the light going onto the grass, the light that allows grass to grow, we can improve that by 50, 60%. And you get away from stadiums suddenly having to have pitches replaced every year or every 2 years. So I think the key for us is to have early engagement with the architectural practices, and from their side to recognize that although the pitch is probably the last thing going into the stadium, and when budgets get cut, that's the area people like to hit. Go back to that 90 minutes, 10 minutes sort of ratio. If the pitch doesn't work, you actually don't need the players, and you don't need the spectators, you don't need the sponsors. That's how important the pitch is.
So the second question was, what are some of the common issues that can arise with pitch projects?
There's probably 3 or 4 key ones that come up all the time. The biggest issue is probably shade and light. The stadiums are becoming more complex, larger, and again, we tend to forget about the grass. You know, the stadium is actually there for the game, for the pitch. It's not the other way around. So shade and light, lack of air movement, really, really important factors when you're looking at a new stadium pitch construction. Then there's actual construction itself. In this industry, we're particularly good at subcontracting out lots of different bits. That's not the way to build a pitch. You really want one company going from A to Z all the way to the back. So it's start to finish. That's really important. And then I suppose finally, one that really gets overlooked a lot is maintenance. Maintenance, a really experienced head groundsman with the right equipment and the right tools is the person who's going to turn that pitch into a success. And that's probably one of the biggest issues we see is when the stadium is built, the client believes he's got his pitch, that's it, I'm done. Actually, that's the start. And so the maintenance side is absolutely critical. And right now we're looking at 3 projects where stadium pitches have been built in the last 2.5 years. And all of them have failed on 2 things, construction, but maintenance.
So that's absolutely paramount.
Maintenance is just a basic, and you know, if you spend 300, 400, 500 million on the stadium, why you're not prepared to pay a good salary for an experienced groundsman and provide them with the tools just is beyond me. But I've been in this business a long time, and it happens every year.
Okay, so can you please tell us a little bit about SIS Pitches now?
Sure. I mean, I suppose what's our key selling point is that we work with architects, we work with pitch agronomists to design a pitch we construct it from start to finish. So what does that mean? It means that we actually do all the construction, we do all the irrigation, we do the aeration systems, the hybrid systems, and the undersoil heating. So I suppose simplistically, we're a one-stop shop. And on top of that, I think we've probably made most of the mistakes that you make in building pitches. And that comes from doing that in Iraq, Angola, Russia, England, Turkey, Japan, China. You know, we've been all over the world. And what we've learned out of that experience is that we need to be able to control every single step of the process. And the only way to do that is to have it all in-house.
Okay. And you talk about all the projects you've been involved with around the world. Can you give us some more detail about one of your recent projects?
Sure. I mean, right now we finished the River Plate Monumental Stadium in Buenos Aires. And this is our first time working down in Argentina. We've got a great client, and we're reconstructing the pitch from the bottom up. And that pitch has been completely constructed by SIS employees. So there are no subcontractors. So the formation, the base, the irrigation, the SIS aeration system, our undersoil heating systems, the SISGrass the hybrid system will go in the next week. But the beauty of that project is the client is only dealing with one company. And quite frankly, if anything goes wrong with that pitch, there's only one company who's at fault, and that's SIS. So that tends to focus the mind a lot. Other projects we were involved with was obviously the World Cup final 2018, Luzhniki Stadium, and there we did 6 of the 12 World Cup stadiums. What was interesting about the World Cup final stadium is the demand on that pitch. We did 85 hours of usage in 4 weeks. And that's the World Cup final pitch, which is going to be seen by billions of people. So you really got to know what you're doing.
And you mentioned your systems you're putting in at River Plate, the SISGrass and SISAir.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a bit more about those?
Sure. SISAir is an aeration system that allows us to blow both cold and hot air through the pitch. It also acts as a drainage system, and it allows us to really control the environment within the root zone of that pitch. That's a system that we've developed over the last probably 15 years. And what we've done, again, is brought that completely in-house with our own electrical and irrigation engineers. SISGrass is our hybrid product, very well known. We've put in probably nearly 200 pitches now in less than 5 years, just over 5 years. That's a hybrid system, and that's where we're injecting fibers into a natural grass pitch. And really what you're getting there is you're getting the benefits of playing on natural grass with partial reinforcement of the fibers. And you know, one of the big things about stadiums nowadays is the aesthetics. You know, the pitch has to look pretty much perfect all the time. And a system like SISGrass, a hybrid system, gives you that insurance policy. So going back to Luzhniki, why did the pitch do 85 hours in 4 weeks? Because it had SISGrass installed. It just gives you that insurance policy.
Great. Okay, thank you, George.